In today's video, we are going to discuss what combinations of Ketu will form a Rajyog in the horoscope. So, Ketu is a planet of liberation. Ketu is a planet of things that we have achieved in the past life, and in this life, we don't pay attention to those particular things in this particular birth. And Ketu is also responsible for things which we do in the background, where we don't have a client facing role, where we don't have a sales facing role, but the things that we build in the background, which leads to the development of a product which end user use. So Ketu is a planet which can give you all the success in your life, all the spirituality in your life, and let's see what combinations of Ketu will form Rajyog. And do not confuse Rajyog with the wealth formation. Wealth, houses of wealth, and attainment of wealth is a different topic than a Rajyoga. How it is different is, if you have sufficient wealth, but if you are not able to enjoy that wealth due to health issues, if you're not able to enjoy that wealth because of your miserly nature, then that Rajyoga is not there in your horoscope. You're not able to enjoy things that you own or that you have achieved in your life. So there is a thin line which we should be aware about, which we should be taking care of while evaluating Rajyog and wealth separately. So let's look into those combinations with a step-by-step approach of how Ketu forms a Rajyog in any particular horoscope. So as you can see on my screen, this is a typical ascendant. Now what is the ascendant is? Ascendant chart is when you open your horoscope on any online platform or offline on any particular software, then you see a chart where you have this ascendant marked, and it is known as a ascendant chart. In Hindi we say it as a Lagna chart. Now this particular ascendant, to evaluate your Ketu, how the Ketu is behaving in your horoscope, this is the step one that you need to follow. You need to understand, and then we'll see what combinations are forming Rajyog that you can drill down easily into your particular horoscope. So first thing that you need to notice is what is the number that is written along with the ascendant. There will be numbers written from 1 to 12. So suppose there is number 5 written here, then it's a Leo ascendant chart, and you need to note down the ascendant. So first thing that we need to note down is the ascendant for a particular horoscope. So that is the first thing. Then you need to see where the Ketu is placed. Where Ketu is placed is the house number. Now every house in horoscope has a fixed number. What is the fixed number is, if you see on my screen, this will always be the first house. Similarly, this will always be a second house, and so on. So where Ketu is placed. So suppose Ketu is placed in your 7th house. So you need to note down here, it will be written like Ketu, and then 180 degrees away is the Rahu. Here we are not talking about Rahu. We already covered about Rahu Rajyog in the previous video. So here you need to follow the Ketu, where the Ketu is and which house it is. You can follow this chart to see the numbering. This is always fixed. This will always be the first house. This will always be the second house, and so on. So just note down the position of Ketu. So I am writing position of Ketu. This is the second thing that you need to notice in your chart. Third is the owner of planet Ketu. So suppose, as we said, that Ketu is in the 7th house. Here there will be a number written with this particular planet or any planet which is placed in any house. So here if you see 5, 6, 7, that is how we count. 8, 9, 10, and then 11. So here if the number is 11, then you need to note down the that is the zodiac sign of that particular planet, that is the Rashi of that particular planet. So you need to I'll just write down sign of Ketu. So which sign Ketu is in? For here it is 11 sign. Position of the Ketu is the 7th house, and ascendant here is the ascendant Leo. So these things we need to know for evaluating your Ketu if it is forming a Rajyoga or not. So the first combination, so these three things we have understood, and also we need to know where the owner of this particular house is. So what is the owner? So suppose Ketu is sitting again here in the 7th house and the number was 11. Here just see wherever Ketu is, just note down that number, and from this table you can see where the number 11 is. 11 is Aquarius. Aquarius is owned by Saturn. So the fourth thing that you need to know is the owner of planet Ketu. For us, here it is the planet Saturn. So these four things you need to know. Then there are other things that we will go and we'll see and analyze in this particular video itself. But these are the basic four things that you have to be aware about for evaluating if your Ketu is forming a Rajyoga or not. So, so let's evaluate the Ketu. What combinations will lead to a Ketu being forming a Rajyoga? First of all, if the owner of this particular planet, if Ketu is placed in the center houses are these four houses, 1, 4, 7 and 10. These are the center houses and these are the angular houses, 1, 5 and 9. These are the angular houses. So if Ketu is sitting in these particular houses, then it has high probability that it can form a Rajyoga in our horoscope. Because whenever a planet is sitting in the Kendra, that is a center, this four quadrants, or it is sitting in this trine is 1, 5 and 9, then we need to see what is the power of that particular planet to deliver results, because these are the auspicious houses for any horoscope. Right now we are not talking about wealth, we are talking about the Rajyoga. These are two different things in astrology. Don't confuse between them. There is a difference between these two things. So combinations of wealth we'll cover in some other video where Ketu forms these combinations of wealth, but here we are talking about the Rajyoga. And what Rajyoga means here is that we don't face difficulties in our day-to-day things. We don't face difficulties in the goals of life that we have set. Whatever success we want to achieve, we get that success, and it can come along with money, wealth and richness as well. So being rich or being wealthy is a part of a Rajyoga. It's not a complete Rajyoga in itself. So here if Ketu is sitting in these houses and the owner here we have identified Saturn, and the owner is either sitting in these particular, either in the Kendra or Trikonas. So for example, Ketu is sitting in either in of these four houses and the owner is sitting in the trine. So here what we are trying to stitch is that it's a like center angular Rajyoga where Ketu is sitting in the center, and suppose Saturn is sitting here, Saturn is sitting here, or Saturn is sitting here, or Saturn is sitting here. So these are the three trine houses as we said. So it's a Kendra Trikona Rajyoga because this planet is sitting in a sign of planet which is sitting in the trine and it's in the center. Now the situation can be reverse as well. So here if Ketu was sitting in this particular house, so here the number would be 9 in this case, because here we were taking the Leo ascendant. So here if Ketu is sitting in the 9 number and Jupiter, if you see here 9 number is owned by planet Jupiter. If Jupiter is sitting in the Kendra San, here this is the trine house and Jupiter is sitting in the Kendra San. Suppose Jupiter was sitting here in the 10th house, Jupiter, then again it's a connection of the center and the angular house. So Ketu is again forming a Rajyoga in this case. Now suppose this is one of the combination. I think this is pretty much very easy to calculate. Now suppose Ketu is sitting with any planet. Just evaluate the planet. Here suppose Ketu is sitting here and Jupiter is here. Okay, and here the number is 3. It's a Gemini ascendant chart. So here Ketu and Jupiter are sitting together. So here the number would be 9. Here the number would be 6 and here the number would be 12. And 9 and 12. If you see, these two numbers are owned by planet Jupiter. So here Ketu is sitting in number 7, and suppose Venus is sitting in some negative place or it's not in a good state right now. So here suppose Venus is sitting in the 12th house. So here if you see, but still Ketu is sitting with a planet which is the owner of the center house and it's sitting in the trine. And here the situation can be reversed as well. Ketu and Jupiter sitting in this particular house, and Jupiter owning a trine house. So you need to see, this is the best Rajyog. This is one of the best Rajyog that any planet can form. So here Ketu is conjugating a planet which is owning a trine or a center. So this combination has the capability to give you all the good results in your life and all the happiness in your life. Then suppose there is another planet, say here Venus was not sitting here. Venus was with Ketu and Jupiter. Here I'll write Venus. Venus and Jupiter are here, and Venus is owning the fifth house. So here if you see, Ketu is sitting with two planets. One is owning the center, one is owning the trine. This is the most powerful Rajyog, and it's being formed in a trine house. Now there are other variations to it. What are the variations? Suppose this combination was formed in the 8th house. Now 8th house Jupiter is again a separate topic. It's a very amazing Jupiter that you get in the 8th house, but here we are concentrating on the Rajyog. So here Venus is there, here Ketu is there, and here Jupiter is there in the 8th house. Now Jupiter is lord of the 7th house, Venus is lord of the 5th house. In the 8th house this combination formed. It will not be as strong as a Rajyog as it is formed in the Kendra and Trikonas, that is the center and the angular houses, but this is again a form of a Rajyog, not as powerful as that particular combination here in the 5th house because it's a trine house, but it again has the capability to give you very good results. This Ketu will never ever give you bad results in your life. So there are two combinations that we have understood. That one is when Ketu is sitting in house of a planet which is owner of a center or a trine, and it is sitting in center in the trine, and that particular planet is not in a bad state. The second combination is it is conjugating a planet which is owning the Kendra or a Trikona. The third combination is how Ketu forms a Rajyog with in the influence of a Yoga Karaka planet. What's a Yoga Karaka planet is when any particular planet owns a trine and a central house. So trine houses are, these three houses are trine houses, and central houses are the ones. So here suppose it's a Cancer ascendant horoscope. So when you have number 4, it's a Cancer ascendant horoscope, and here the 5th house is number 8 and the 10th house is number 1. If you see number 1 and number 8, this is ruled by planet Mars. So this particular ascendant has Mars as a Yoga Karaka planet. So here Mars will be a Yoga Karaka planet. So suppose Ketu is sitting in the 5th house. So here it is sitting in a horoscope where Mars is a Yoga Karaka planet, and suppose it's conjugating with planet Mars. Now this is one of the most powerful Rajyog which Ketu can form in its dasha or antardasha. It has the capability to give you best ever results because here it has completely stitched the Kendra and the Trikona with only one planet, and it is conjugating this planet. So that is how. And also this conjugation can happen in any other house as well. For example, in the 2nd house Ketu was forming a conjugation with Mars, Ketu plus Mars in the 2nd house. Then here also Mars is the Yoga Karaka planet and Ketu is conjugating Mars. So again for Cancer ascendant, if Ketu is sitting anywhere with Mars, it's forming a Rajyog. So I think that's understood. Here if I can take example of any particular ascendant. So here I'll take example of Taurus ascendant. So here Taurus ascendant, Venus is the lord of this particular ascendant, and here if you see, this particular house is a center house and it's a trine house. Both of these houses, 10 and 11 number, these are governed by planet Saturn. So here if Saturn is placed in any of the house with Ketu, so suppose in the 4th house Ketu was sitting with Saturn, then it's a Rajyog. So there are ascendants for which there are Yoga Karaka planets. I'll cover that some in one of my videos, like how planets form a Rajyog or a Yoga Karaka, when a planet is Yoga Karaka for any ascendant, that I'll cover in detail. But here I hope that is understood in your particular ascendant. Just check and let me know in the comment section what combination of Ketu is forming a Rajyog or not. Now there is another kind of combination which we have to see here, is that suppose Ketu is sitting in this particular house 6, 8th house or 12th house. So now these three houses are bad houses in general. These don't have the capability to give you good results, but still here Ketu can form a Rajyog. How? Suppose Ketu is sitting in 8th house. Suppose Ketu is sitting alone here in 8th house and the number here is 11. So it's a Cancer ascendant horoscope, so the number will be 11 here. Now the owner of this particular house would be planet Saturn. Saturn is sitting either in 12th house or the 6th house. So either Saturn is here or Saturn is here. Then it's a Vipreet Rajyog what Saturn is forming, and this Ketu again forms a Rajyog under the Vipreet Rajyog circumstances because the owner of this particular house is forming a Vipreet Rajyog. Similarly, if Ketu was in, I'll take example of the Taurus ascendant again. So here is suppose Ketu was sitting here and here the number is 1 and Mars was sitting in this particular house. So Mars, a 12th lord, is sitting either in 6th house or either Mars was here, that is the 8th house. If you see this table, one number is Aries, which is ruled by planet Mars. So here it is forming a Rajyog. This Ketu is forming a Rajyog. There are other combinations where Ketu forms a Rajyog and people have a divided opinion on it. Like Ketu is in exalted state, or it is sitting with a planet with in the exalted state, or the owner of this houses where Ketu is in exalted state. But as per classic, these combinations have potential to give you very strong results, very good results, but exactly it will form a Rajyog or not is not guaranteed, because exalted planets are exalted planets. They may or they may not form a wealth yog or a Rajyog. So I am not covering those in this video because those are general assumptions which people make. So I hope you have liked this content. So do press the like button of this video. That is the motivation that you give me by watching these videos and liking that. If you're new to the channel, do subscribe and share this video with people who want to know if their Ketu is forming a Rajyog or not. We'll be back with an interesting video on astrology soon. Till then, namaskar.